It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Saints and the Giants, and it's coming up next.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD, you look at our quarterback matchup in this ball game. That's where the focus naturally gravitates, and I think we have a fairly interesting one here. Jameis Winston of the Saints, Daniel Jones of the Giants.
And Brandon, I think each one might be trying to play some form of keep away from the other, because when you think about time of possession and what that means in a game, it's great if you're able to hold on to the football and run your offense at your pace. And it also helps to keep the other guy's offense on the sideline. That's your goal for the game.
Set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. Callaway, the return man. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
Throughout his career, a few have doubted Jameis Winston's ability to throw the football. The concerns, they've always centered around his accuracy and taking care of it. When he makes good decisions on the field, excellent numbers usually result.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Play fake, Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb, because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 46. Winston to give, it's Kamara. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Winston. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
Used to have a coaches tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, you know, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
And now out come the Giants. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Now Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing Jones. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And you think on 3rd down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air. Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. touchdown here to kick it away. Callaway, the return man. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Second down, and it's Kamara again. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Winston now from the 50. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Gilligan on the punt now on 4th down. Back deep, the dangerous Pharaoh Cooper. And this one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Winston now. Throw left side complete to Troutman. That throw good for only a couple and brings up 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a 3rd down throw, but he misses the target, incomplete. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that 2nd catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On 2nd and 7, Jones. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Kamara gets it again on second down, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack. Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. Winston from the gun on third down. That's complete to Troutman, right side. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a fourth down. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Open man is the tight end, Troutman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up, because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well. And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next. Nowhere to turn here. He's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground. Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone, toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Incomplete. They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 54 yards away. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
We get a look at Sterling Shepard as he and the rest of the offense march out into place. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us. But they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. Out to the right here to Shepard. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
From midfield now on second down. Jones will get this out to Barkley complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Jones now throwing on first down. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw again. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively, and second down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over it that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Back to throw again. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Jameis now on first down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 4. From the gun, Winston. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Shepard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Saints. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. receive this kick. On the return, it's Pharaoh Cooper. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And his throw here is incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Looking to throw. Jones. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Jameis Winston and the Saints ready to go back again on offense. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after him. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Winston. That's caught by Marquez Callaway. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On play action, Winston. And Callaway taking it in left side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A 10th carry for Kamara. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Aziz Ojulari there on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Winston. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On 1st and 10, Winston. It's brought in by Harris. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football. Worked so hard to get his feet down in bounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really?
Yep, that he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stops right there.
And the Saints are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I have to think that the wheels are really spinning in their play caller's mind now. That little setback there on 1st down. They'll have 3 more shots if that's what it takes, because they've got to take field goals out of their thought process. They need a touchdown and a conversion to tie this game. What play calls does he have on that sheet?
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Kamara trying again. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. A 2-yard gain.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This is 3rd and goal. And this Giants defense, they have withstood the test thus far. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the Saints are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Now Sean Payton going to say, let's go for 2 on this one. Winston to throw for it. Flush to his right. And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. And that was the old QB one-man band play there on the conversion.
And look, let's face it, even quarterbacks who don't have great mobility, in certain situations, they're able to actually take the ball in themselves. Remember way back when Joe Namath against the Giants
at
the Yale Bowl, right? Remember Joe had all those knee operations. They thought he couldn't run it. No one accounted for him. He practically walked into the end zone.
Nothing separating these 2 teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. Cooper on the return. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. Last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go to Barkley again. Barkley a 1st down and more. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all Lebanon defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's a give to Barkley. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, Martin, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Demario Davis there on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Throwing Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
By the way, you'd be looking at about a 47-yarder from here as they come up on an important 3rd down. Now Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our fourth quarter tie. And Gano's kick is right through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Callaway, the return man. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. And he'll start with a give to Kamara. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Winston. Steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
There wasn't a breakdown of protection. Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen down to Kamara. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
New York's offense back out there and set to go. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. Gets it up past the 10 with a nice move. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
So it's It's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Back to throw. Jones. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, it's Barkley. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance. But that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. Down to a knee goes Jones, and that should just about seal it. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just the week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.